Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of today here at Mad World Tarot, the wandering tarot reader, the tarot reader with only one tarot deck, the apprentice tarot with her in her suitcase, unfortunately. And we have big stories breaking today or yesterday, health stories. I've read on the Princess of Wales and how she's doing. I'm just going to check in with the King now. Little 5-card reading. How is he doing? We've heard that this doesn't seem to be particularly concerning, but let's just see how he is, how worried the rest of the royals are about the situation. Implications, because of course there are very few working royals left. We still have Has-Been, who is a councillor of state over in Montecito, which is worrying. So implications for that. And then overall outcome, how is, note that the Queen of Wands came flying out when I was talking about Has-Been being a councillor of state. That was interesting. How's the King going to do ultimately? Is he going to recover well? Or do we have reason to be a little bit worried right now with this situation? Short reading, 5-card reading, because I'm in the mountains, struggle to upload here. So we've got to keep it short and sweet. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff I'd love to be digging into right now, but can't. And we'll save that for when I am home in the next few days. So let's see. Quick little reading. Of course, it's tarot for fun and entertainment, or my opinion, or speculation. Just energy we read here, archetypal energy, and disclaimer in the box below. Tiny little space. And we kind of can just about squish the cards in. Let's see what we have. We have the 4 of Cups as our underlying energy in reverse. 4 of Cups in reverse is, yes, it can be about being disengaged and apathetic and kind of indifferent when it's in reverse. But for me, it's more of a having been that energy, then moving into an energy of let's get more involved, let's get busy with something new, let's find a new passion and a new enthusiasm for something, and let's even perhaps reconnect with people. That's quite curious energy to come through there, because I don't really feel that it's the King's energy, and I don't feel it's the royal family's energy, and I don't feel it's the British public's energy, not at all. I think that that is parkour energy, Has-Been energy, that is sitting there as the underlying energy, which is strange. I was really trying to focus on the King, but I did leave a little window of opportunity for Harry's energy in this reading, and I think it is what has come through as the underlying energy of somebody who was indifferent, couldn't care less about his family at some stage, didn't care when Prince Philip was dying, didn't seem to care when the Queen was dying, and now that his father is in trouble, he seems to have begun to think, oh, perhaps it's time to show a little bit more interest in what's going on with my family. It's horrifying. My personal opinion is it's absolutely horrifying, and I'd like to take him out and give him a sound. Well, we don't like to encourage violence on this channel, so we won't finish that sentence, but I think you get the picture. Situation. We're looking at the King, really, situation. We have the High Priestess in reverse, which is secrets, quiet, stillness, but secrets that have come out, really, when the High Priestess is in reverse. So something that has been hidden, kept from us, is now coming out. Or something that he didn't even know about has now been revealed. And apparently this was something that they've only recently discovered. So I think it's something the High Priestess can normally rules women's health, women's reproductive organs and things like that. Seems to be straying into male territory in this reading, the High Priestess. But those kinds of mysteries and being revealed. So I think that's what we're dealing with. And how is the King at this time? How's he doing? Oh, oh dear. We have the Death card in reverse. It's a Scorpio card. Of course, death. It's not literal. Let's get that out the way in case you've just tuned in for the first time to a tarot reading and thinking, oh my word, Death is the Scorpio card. It's Scorpio in reverse, forcing Scorpio to do something Scorpio doesn't like to do, and that is change. And maybe not work so hard, maybe not be so rigid about routines, prise their hands off something that they don't want to let go of. That's what that card in reverse is telling me. That he might be having a glimpse of his own mortality at some level as well with that card. But it's more about, you need to change, you need to let go, you need to calm down, you need to take it easy. And it's interesting that the two that are in financial health, who are having health struggles right now, first of all, are the two that were accused of terrible things by Omid Scobie in his book Endgame, the Dutch translation of it anyway, or accidental translation. Those two are now the ones that are suffering from health crises, really. It's also interesting that those two are the ones that really seem to be carrying the burden of the monarchy on their shoulders right now. Catherine, of course, the future hopes of the monarchy really on her shoulders. And the king currently stepped in to a difficult situation, the monarchy in a bit of a crisis, losing Prince Philip, losing the Queen, Harry and Meghan, causing all kinds of trouble in California, worry about whether the monarchy is still relevant, how people are going to accept him, working insanely hard. What we hear about the king constantly is how hard he works. And there it is, needs to change and kind of resisting the pressure on him to change. So that's a long ramble to tell you what the Death card in reverse is telling me. I don't think he's in a negative frame of mind. I do think he's thinking, oh well, at some stage it is all going to be over. It's pretty Scorpio energy. Scorpio is always very aware that at some stage, could be soon, could be in many years' time, it is all going to be over. And it's not something that necessarily worries Scorpios, but it is sometimes difficult to say, all right, the world will go on without me. That's coming from a Scorpio. So how worried are the rest of the royals? How are they feeling right now? And a panic, 5 of Swords. So there's a little bit of conflict going on around this. Arguing about things. The thing that's probably being argued about is what's happening in California and what is going to happen when more working royals are required. Charles, of course, slimmed down the monarchy, thinking that he would have Harry by his side to help him and Prince William. And, of course, we all know what happened there. So there's a shortage of working royals. So perhaps you can send your CV in and try your luck if you're inclined that way. But they're going to have to scratch around and dig up some new ones. And who are those going to be? Are they going to be the York girls? Are they going to be the ones in California? Are they going to be the young Edinburghs? Who are they going to manage to lure in? Zara and Mike? Conflict around this. I should imagine that there are meetings and discussions and perhaps even quite heated discussions about ways forward. And that's interesting, 5 of Swords to show up in that position. So they're not particularly worried about what's going to happen to the king, but I think they are worried about what's going to happen to the monarchy going forward. Consequences in terms of taking that card and moving it forward. Consequences in terms of things like Harry being a councillor of state, those kinds of issues. We've had Edward and Beatrice elevated, as far as I can recall. I hope I've got the right ones. But what's going to happen there with the councillor of state thing, and particularly with Hasby, who has shown up? And we've got the Page of Swords in reverse, and it's very interesting to me that these cards, some of them are cards that showed up in the previous reading for Catherine, and I did shuffle. I did shuffle quite well. I actually get the cards down and squish them around on the table and then start shuffling them. So in between readings. So Page of Swords in reverse. The royals don't want that brashish energy in of Harry. That's for sure. With the Page of Swords in reverse. With his criticism, his cruelty, his attacks on the royal family, on particular members of the royal family, his flying monkeys that can be unleashed at any minute, through the Sussex squad. They don't want that. Page of Swords in reverse, all of that viciousness and toxicity. Another book that might be written, Page of Swords, is about communication, harsh communication, snooping, spying. They're worried about if he was allowed in, what would be the consequences, the spying. We've heard things about Netflix crew being around, for instance, at that walk around outside Windsor when the Queen died. Harry and Meghan allegedly being wired for sound and things like that. So they don't want, the rest of the royals don't want this at all. They're kind of braced and they're kind of suspicious and they're kind of wary, A-R-Y, about what might happen, what might transpire. And so there's a lot of worry in this energy, Five of Swords, Page of Swords in reverse. How's it going to go ultimately for the king? Is he going to recover well from this sail on, or is it going to change something for him? What's going to happen? Interesting. We have the devil in reverse, which is stopping something that's toxic or obsessive. And I think he is going to have to let go of some of his more obsessive behavior. Stuff that makes him really tired, really pushing himself too hard. He is going to have to stop that. Devil in reverse is really stopping behavior that is not serving you well. And in the best interpretation of the devil card in reverse, of course, the devil card could mean something quite different in this reading, and it's possible that part of the things he is going to let go of and stop fussing about and stop being concerned about are things in California, a toxic situation that he can't fix, he can't resolve, he can't worry about. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen, and he maybe is going to realize as a result of this health scare that he just has to surrender to a situation and cut himself free of it and let it go the way it needs to go. Whatever is going on in California needs to just carry on going on in California, and he better off having not much to do with it in future. That's what's coming through for me, particularly as it's sitting under that death card, the need to change, the need to let go, having to face that he can't control everything, he can't fix everything, he can't be everywhere, and he can't be everything for everyone all the time. So there is going to be some change for him, and it is going to be quite radical. With that devil card in reverse, is going to be behavior changes, I think quite dramatic ones. So there we have it. This is big for the king, with the devil and the death card and the high priestess card all showing up in the reverse. And those are all quite mysterious cards. If you look at the major arcana, those probably are among the most mysterious cards and tricky cards to navigate. If you aren't following best advice, if you aren't following your own intuition, if you aren't changing, if you aren't letting go, if you aren't detoxing your own life, then you're having a problem. So it's bigger than just an enlarged prostate in this, in my opinion. And Harry is hanging around in this reading as a very juvenile energy, Four of Cups in reverse. It's juvenile energy in that Four of Cups and the Page of Swords in reverse. The royals don't want him around. He's beginning to think, perhaps I should get on a plane and show some interest in my family. But the rest of them are saying, stay well away, you. We don't want you anywhere near us. That is, of course, just my opinion. I wish both of these rather ill royals well and speedy recovery. We need them. We need them back, hale and hearty. And thank you for watching. And I will see you again probably on Saturday.